kind of coursing through you right now?
I got a little anxious there before the pick, but I think more than anything, just grateful and lucky to have my family here, my friends over there, coaches up here. So I think just enjoying the moment.
What's up, Hoops World fam? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the biggest stories rattling the basketball universe. And right now, there's one narrative that's dominating the WNBA headlines, leaving fans anxious and a team scrambling.
On a tough screen, so if I had to pick one right now, it'd probably be that. But like great screens, I just didn't hear them, so it's kind of my own fault, but yeah, I'd probably pick those.
The curious case of Caitlin Clark and her disappearing act from the Indiana Fever's lineup. I'm your host, and today we're not just reporting on an injury. We're talking about a potential crisis that could reshape the WNBA season and impact the trajectory of its most anticipated star. For the fifth straight game, Caitlin Clark, the sensation, the record breaker, the rookie phenom, is officially out with a strained left groin. This isn't just a bump in the road, folks. It's becoming a major concern. The player who never missed a game in her illustrious college career at Iowa.
I think Kelly and Amber have done a really good job of, finding pieces that fit. It makes me excited about the future, obviously, with Steph and her staff coming in here and my ability to work out with Keith All.
Who played every single contest in her rookie WNBA season last year, is now sidelined for extended periods for the second time this season. From a strained quad earlier in the year to this nagging groin issue, the basketball world is asking, what's going on with Caitlin Clark? Is this just bad luck, or is her Iron Woman streak a thing of the past? And what does it mean for the Indiana Fever's playoff hopes, especially after they just snapped a massive losing streak without her? Let's break down this developing saga. Let's get right into it. The news dropped like a thunderclap on Friday. Caitlin Clark will miss her fifth consecutive game, sidelined with a strained left groin, as the Indiana Fever prepare to host the Los Angeles Sparks. This absence isn't just another game missed. It's a stark contrast to the ironclad durability that defined her unprecedented rise. Remember, this is Caitlin Clark, the woman who defied the laws of basketball physics at Iowa, playing every single collegiate game. The rookie who battled through the physical gauntlet of her first WNBA season last year without missing a single contest. She was the picture of resilience, the relentless engine of her teams. Now, in her second WNBA season, she's accumulating absences at an alarming rate. This current groin strain follows another significant injury earlier this season, a strained quadriceps that kept her out for 5 games. So in total, Clark has now missed 10 games this season, including the recent Commissioner's Cup final. That's a significant chunk of time for a player who, just a few months ago, was seemingly indestructible. Fever coach Stephanie White has been cautious with her public comments, emphasizing long-term health. Making sure we don't have any setbacks, we got to be smart about this, White stated recently. Clark herself, after a partial practice participation, simply said she felt good and was taking things day by day. But for fans, day by day has stretched into weeks, and the anxiety is palpable. The exact moment of the groin injury remains unconfirmed, though speculation points to an awkward fall in the final seconds of a June 24th win over the Seattle Storm. Groin injuries, depending on the severity, grade 1, 2, or 3, can sideline athletes for anywhere from a couple of weeks to several months. The cautious approach suggests the Fever are likely dealing with at least a grade 2 strain, which means a recovery timeline of 4 to 6 weeks is not out of the question. This isn't a minor tweak, it's a legitimate physical hurdle.
And that's Lexi. I mean, she's always working her tail off on the defensive end, doing all the little things that it takes to position us for success.
Would send a team into a tailspin, right? Especially a team like the Fever, who have struggled for consistency. But here's the plot twist, Hoops World. The Indiana Fever have actually shown surprising resilience, even flashes of brilliance in Clark's absence. Just a few days ago, the Fever pulled off a stunning 81-54 victory over the reigning champions, the Las Vegas Aces. This wasn't just any win. It snapped a brutal 16-game losing streak against the Aces. Think about that, a team missing its biggest star, a player who commands triple teams and dictates the entire offensive flow, goes out and demolishes the league's juggernaut. And that wasn't an anomaly. Just before that, they clinched the Commissioner's Cup title over the formidable Minnesota Lynx, another elite team, in a game that didn't count towards regular season standings but certainly boosted team morale and pocketbooks. While Clark's impact is undeniable, Her averages of 18.2 points, 8.9 assists, 5.0 rebounds, and 1.6 steals per game are elite. The team has found ways to adapt. Let's look at the numbers. The Fever currently hold a 9-8 record on the season. Without Clark, they are 3-4. With her, they are 5-4. While those numbers seem close, it's worth noting their recent 3-1 surge without her, with 2 of those wins coming by an average of 21 points against top-tier teams. Some analysts, including former Orlando Miracle coach Carolyn Peck, are even suggesting that the Fever might be more dangerous without Clark in some ways. Peck argued that while Clark is a ball-dominant guard, her absence forces other players to step up, making the team less predictable and utilizing its multiple weapons. Players like Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Ari McDonald have indeed elevated their games in Clark's absence, demonstrating newfound defensive fluidity and defensive cohesion. This isn't to say the Fever are better without Clark. That's a ludicrous claim. But it does highlight their depth and ability to adapt, showcasing that this isn't a one-woman show, even if Clark is the headline act. Speaking of that Commissioner's Cup victory, let's talk about it for a moment. This in-season tournament is a big deal in the WNBA, offering significant prize money and bragging rights. The Fever's win over the Lynx was a massive achievement, a testament to their growth and grit. But it was also a bittersweet moment for fans, as Caitlin Clark was once again sidelined. The Commissioner's Cup is a relatively new, innovative addition to the WNBA calendar. It's an in-season competition where specific regular season games are designated as cup games. The top team from each conference in those designated games then battles it out in a championship final for a cool $500,000 prize pool, with the winning team's players taking home around $30,000 each and an additional $5,000 for the MVP. It also includes charitable donations, with teams supporting a chosen charity based on their wins and losses. So, while the final doesn't count towards the regular season standings, it carries significant weight in terms of financial incentives and showcasing talent. For the Fever to win it without Clark is a huge confidence booster, demonstrating that they are more than capable of competing at the highest level. It also signals a significant improvement from their struggles in Clark's rookie season, where they finished 13-27. However, for Clark, missing out on such a high-profile championship, especially one that could have elevated her burgeoning rivalry with stars like Napheesa Collier, is undoubtedly a missed opportunity. It's like being invited to the biggest party of the year, but having to watch it from the sidelines. For a player driven by competition and making an impact, these absences, particularly for marquee events, must be incredibly frustrating. The optics for the league, which has heavily marketed Clark, are also a challenge, as their biggest draw is currently off the court during key moments. And then there's the All-Star Game. Despite her recent absences, Caitlin Clark has been voted in as one of 2 captains for the upcoming WNBA All-Star Game later this month, hosted, fittingly, at the Fever's home court in Indianapolis. This is her second consecutive All-Star selection and her first time as a captain, receiving the most fan votes across the entire league, a staggering 1,293,526. Clark, alongside fellow captain Napheesa Collier, will have the honor of drafting their All-Star rosters. This is a massive testament to her unparalleled popularity and impact on the game, even amidst her injury woes. It shows that the Caitlin Clark effect transcends her on-court availability. Her magnetism is simply undeniable. However, it also sparks an interesting debate. All-Star captains are selected by a combination of fan, player, and media votes. Fans account for 50%, players and media 25% each. While Clark absolutely dominated the fan vote, she actually finished 9th in the player voting among guards, despite being 3rd in media voting. This discrepancy highlights the ongoing conversation around her game. Is her popularity outpacing her on-court efficiency? Especially with her shooting percentages a bit lower this season, 39% from the field, 29.5% from 3. Her selection as captain, particularly while injured, underscores the commercial power she holds for the WNBA. The league needs her healthy and playing not just for the Fever, but for the entire ecosystem of viewership, sponsorships, and overall excitement she brings. Her sophomore season stats before this latest injury, averaging 18.2 points, 8.9 assists, 5.0 rebounds, and 1.6 steals, were still incredibly impressive. She's already broken records, becoming the fastest player to 350 career assists and hitting her 800th career point in just 42 games. She even eclipsed 250 rebounds, becoming the fastest point guard in WNBA history to do so. So while the fan vote speaks volumes about her appeal, her performance has also been more than worthy of an all-star nod. The question now becomes, will she be healthy enough to actually play in her own all-star game, or will her captaincy be an honorary bench role? So what does this all mean for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever as we look ahead? The team's cautious approach to her recovery is absolutely the right one. Pushing her back too soon, especially with a soft tissue injury like a groin strain, could lead to a more severe setback, potentially jeopardizing her entire season or, even worse, her long-term career. Coach White has made it clear that Clark's long-term health and wellness are the priority, and they want her to be 100% and confident when she returns. The goal is to avoid any setbacks. With 5 home games and 11 days coming up for the Fever, including a matchup against the Golden State Valkyries, there will be plenty of opportunities for her to potentially return. However, given the nature of groin injuries, weeks is often the minimum recovery time for a significant strain. The Fever, despite their recent successes without Clark, still need their star to make a deep playoff run. Her ability to stretch the floor, create for others, and draw defensive attention is unparalleled. The growth we've seen from other players in her absence will only make the Fever a more dangerous team once Clark is fully integrated back into the lineup. They've learned to adapt, to rely on each other, and that collective strength, combined with Clark's individual brilliance, could be a formidable force. This is a critical juncture for Caitlin Clark. Her body, which seemed invulnerable for so long, is now signaling that the demands of elite professional basketball are taking their toll. The WNBA schedule is grueling and the physicality is intense. This period of injury could be a pivotal moment for her to learn how to manage her body, how to adapt her game, and how to preserve her long-term health. The basketball world is holding its breath, hoping for a full, speedy, and sustainable return for the player who has undeniably changed the game. Hoops World fam, the Caitlin Clark saga is far from over. This isn't just about one player, it's about the resilience of a team, the evolving landscape of the WNBA, and the fragility of even the greatest athletes. We'll be keeping a very close eye on the Fever's injury reports and Clark's recovery process.